So do you also want to extract the data from research proposals automatically? Then this video is definitely for you. So hello all, welcome back to Pabbly Connect, and in this video we are going to understand how to use AI to extract research proposals data from PDFs to Google Sheets. So like you, I also used to manually extract the data from research proposals received from my students. But this is such a time consuming and a tedious task. So to solve this problem, I've simply created this amazing automation where what is going to happen is that as soon as I add the research proposals into my Google Drive, automatically my AI agent, which is OpenAI, is going to extract the details from that research proposal, and further we are going to add that details into our Google Sheets. So to do this, we are simply going to create a connection between Google Drive, my AI agent, which is OpenAI, and Google Sheets. And to create this connection without knowing any programming or coding language, we are going to use Pabbly Connect. It is an amazing automation software. So if you also want to create this amazing automation for your own university, then for that you have to come with me towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video, I'll show you how to use AI to automatically extract data from research proposal PDFs and organize it neatly into Google Sheets. So whether you are dealing with project titles, researcher names, budgets or deadlines, this smart workflow does the heavy lifting using OpenAI. It is ideal for academic coordinators, research analysts, or teams looking to streamline data collection. So let's dive in and turn static PDFs into structured insights. So yes, alright, so what is going to happen is that the details from this research proposal would be extracted and added right over here. That too without any manual efforts. So yes, if you also want to see how this automation works and how to create this automation, then for that you have to stick to this video till the end. So to do this, I'm simply going to open a new tab and we're going to open the landing page of Pabbly Connect simply by searching pabbly.com/connect in our browser. So I'm simply going to search for pabbly.com/connect, and now it is opening the landing page of Pabbly Connect. And over here we are going to get two options. One is sign in and the another one is sign up for free. So if you are a new user, you can click on this sign up for free and you are going to get 100 of tasks free every month to explore the application. But over here I am an existing user, so I'm simply going to click on this button which says sign in, and now it is opening all Pabbly apps, and over here you can see all the tools and applications offered by Pabbly. But in today's video we are going to use Pabbly Connect because we are connecting different applications. So I'm simply going to click on this access now right over here to access my Pabbly Connects account, and once we're going to click on this access now, it is opening my dashboard. And to start with this automation, we simply have to click on this button which says create workflow, and now it is asking me for the workflow name and the folder I want to save the workflow in. So over here on my dashboard you can see multiple folders which I have already created. So if you also want to create a new folder, you can go towards this create new folder button and create your own. I have already created multiple folders, so I'm just going to save my workflow in this folder which says automations, and I'm just going to name my workflow as this: use AI to extract research proposal data from PDFs to Google Sheets. And then we are simply going to click on this button which says create, and once we're going to click on this create, it is opening the most important window of our automation, which is our workflow window. So this is the most important window because we have trigger and action in this. Trigger and actions are the two main principles on which our workflow is going to run. Trigger means when this happens and action means do this. So by this you can understand that the actions are response towards the commands given by a trigger, and that's the particular reason that we can have only a single trigger but multiple actions following the commands of our trigger in a particular workflow. And to get started, we are simply going to select the trigger application. So for my trigger application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Drive. So I'm just going to search for Google Drive and select it right over here. And now for the trigger event, I'm simply going to select it as new file in a specific folder and click on this button which says connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Drive account with your Pabbly Connects workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. And now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once we're going to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google, Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Drive. And once we're going to select our Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So what we're going to do is I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. You can also click on this allow Pabbly is safe, and as soon as we're going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully connected our Google Drive account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And after connecting this, over here it is asking me to select the folder or the subfolder. So as you can see, the name of my folder is research proposals. So I'm just going to select the same right over here, which is research proposals. But before selecting the folder or the subfolder, you have to keep in mind that the folder or the subfolder which you're selecting should be a shareable one. So what do I mean by a shareable one? So you have to go towards the folder name, you have to go towards this share, and then once again towards this share. And once you're going to come over here towards this share, the general access should be anyone with the link and editor. So it is really important that the access should be anyone with the link and the editor right over here. Otherwise, the AI agent will not be able to read your documents. So as you can see that I have already kept this as anyone with the link and editor, and now I'm simply going to click on this button which says done. You first have to make this folder a shareable one, then only you have to select the folder name right over here. And now after selecting the folder name, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. But before clicking on this blue button, I'll just let you know that Google Drive is a pooling based application. So pooling based application means that this application will not check for new data instantly. It is going to take some amount of time to check for the new data. And over here in the case of Google Drive, it is saying the trigger will check for new data in 10 minutes. So once I'm just going to click on this save and send test request, Pabbly is going to capture the last response or the latest response submitted in my Google Drive. So before clicking on this save and send test request, I'm just going to do the test submission, and I'm just going to upload a research proposal right over here in my Google Drive folder. So as you can see that I'm simply going to upload this research proposal right over here so that I can capture the response of the same. So as you can see that I've uploaded this, and now I'm just going to click on this save and send test request so that I can capture the response of this research proposal only. And as you can see that we have received the positive response, and over here we have captured the response of the same research proposal. So yes, with this we have successfully completed our trigger step, and now whenever a new file will be added in this research proposals Drive, automatically this workflow is going to get triggered in 10 minutes. So if you also want to reduce or increase this trigger time, you can go towards this set trigger time button by going towards this three dots and then set trigger time. And now from here you can reduce or increase the trigger time. I'm just going to keep it as 10 minutes only and move on further. Now it is asking me for my action step. So what I want is I want to use AI to extract research proposals data from PDFs to Google Sheets. So for my action application, I'm simply going to select it as my AI agent, which is OpenAI. So I'm simply going to search for OpenAI and select it right over here. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as extract details from a PDF or image. So as you can see the same, so I'm simply going to select it and click on this button which says connect. And once we're going to click on this connect, it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your OpenAI account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now it is asking me for the token. And to get this token, we are simply going to follow the help text, and it is saying kindly visit your OpenAI API key page to get the API key that you need to enter here. So I'm simply going to go towards this OpenAI API key page to get the API key. And after coming over here towards this API keys page, we simply have to click on this green button which says create new secret key. And that is asking me for the name of the key. So I'm just going to name my key as research proposals. So I'm just going to enter the key name right over here. And as you can see that I've simply entered my key name, and now it is asking me to select the project. So I'm simply going to select my project and click on this green button which says create secret key. And as you can see, the key has been created, so I'm simply going to copy this key and then we're going to paste this key right over here in our workflow. And after pasting this key, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save. And with this, we have successfully connected our OpenAI account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it's asking me to select the OpenAI model. So I'm simply going to select my model as GPT-4o, meaning you can select any another of your choice. And now it is asking me for the image/ pdf URL. So I'm simply going to enter the research proposal URL right over here. But we are not going to enter it manually or by copy pasting it, but instead we're going to map it. So you must be wondering, what is mapping? So mapping is a method by Pabbly which means inserting the data from the previous step. And as you know, our previous step was the trigger step where we selected Google Drive as our trigger application. So we are simply going to map the details from the response of our trigger application only. And as soon as we're going to map these details, automatically my details will turn dynamic and change with every new response received. Alright, so I'm simply going to map this web content link right over here, which is the response of my Google Drive. So you have to keep in mind that you only and only have to map this web content link. So now we're going to move on forward. It is asking me to enter the prompt. So over here, I'm just going to extract the details from this PDF using structured output. So I'm just going to keep the prompt very simple, which is I want to extract details from the given doc. And as you can see that I've simply entered my prompt, and now we're going to move on further. Now it is asking me to enter the structured output. So it is saying enter the structured output JSON object over here. So over here in the important notes section, I'm just going to go towards this. It is saying to generate the structured output JSON, navigate to this URL. So to generate this JSON object, we don't have to require any programming or coding language. I'm just going to let you know how you can generate this JSON object without knowing any programming or coding. You simply have to follow this URL given right over here and open this site, which is platform.openai.com. Over here you can see after opening this, we are going to generate the structure output with the help of our AI agent. So I'm simply going to go towards this generate right over here, and now it is saying describe how you want the model to respond, and we'll generate a JSON schema. So to generate this JSON schema, we are simply going to give it a prompt, and to give it a prompt, I'm just going to open my notepad first. Alright, so as you can see that I've simply opened my notepad, and over here in the notepad, I'm just going to enter the details which I want to extract. So what is the first thing which I want to extract is project title. Alright, and over here one by one, I'm just going to enter the details. The first thing which I want to extract is project title. So I'm just going to enter project title right over here. And now after entering the detail which I want to extract, I'm just going to go towards a new line, and I'm just going to give the format in which I want this project title. So it will be type of a text. So I'm just going to keep it as type of a text right over here. Now we're going to move on towards the next line, and we have to give a description of the same. Alright, so I want the description to be this: extract and provide the title of the research project mentioned in the proposal. Alright, now we're going to move on forward, and like I did for this, I'm just going to do this for all of them. So I'm just going to open this first, and one by one I'm just going to enter the prompt for all of the details which I want to extract. And as you can see that I've successfully did this, and now what we're going to do is I'm simply going to copy this, and now I'm just going to open that structured output page and paste it right over here. And after pasting this, I'm simply going to click on this green button which says create. And once we are going to click on this create, automatically my AI agent is going to generate me the JSON schema. So as you can see, the JSON schema has been generated. So I'm simply going to copy this JSON schema, and now I'm just going to open my workflow, and we're going to paste that structured output right over here. And after pasting this, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send as request. And now my AI agent is going to extract all of these details from this PDF. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds till my AI agent is doing the same. So we're just going to wait for a few seconds till all of these details are getting extracted from my PDF. And as you can see, the details have been extracted. You can see the project title, you can see the investigator name, you can see the institution, university, you can see the contact email, you can see the project duration and the requested budget. And now I'm just going to add all of these details right over here into my spreadsheet. For that, I'm just going to add another action step, and now for the action application, I'm simply going to select it as Google Sheets. So I'm just going to search for Google Sheets and select it. And now for the action event, I'm simply going to select it as add a new row and click on this connect. And now it is asking me to add a new connection or select an existing connection. So if you have already connected your Google Sheets account with your Pabbly Connect's workflow, you can simply click on this select existing connection and then save. But if you haven't, you have to follow me, click on add a new connection, and now we have to click on this blue button which says sign in with Google. And once we're going to click on this sign in with Google, Pabbly is asking me to select my Gmail account. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here, with the help of which I'm just going to connect my Google Sheets. So I'm simply going to select my Gmail account right over here. And once we're going to select the Gmail account, Pabbly is asking me for some permissions. So I'm simply going to click on this allow and give Pabbly all the permissions it is asking for, because my data is secure with Pabbly. And as soon as we're going to click on this allow, with this we have successfully successfully connected our Google Sheets account with our Pabbly Connect's workflow. And now it is asking me to select the spreadsheet. So I'm simply going to select the spreadsheet right over here, which is the research proposals data. And after selecting the spreadsheet, it is asking me to select the sheet. So I'm simply going to select the sheet, which is sheet 1. Now we're going to move on further. Now it is asking me for many another details. So one by one, I'm just going to map all of these details right over here. Alright, so first I'm just going to map the project title right over here. Then I'm just going to map the principal investigator name. We're going to move on forward. I'm just going to map the university. We are going to move on forward. I'm just going to map the contact email. I'm just going to map the project duration. And at last, I'm just going to map the requested budget right over here. And after mapping all of these details, I'm simply going to click on this blue button which says save and send test request. And as soon as we're going to click on this save and send test request button, automatically these details have been added into my spreadsheet. So I'm just going to open my spreadsheet right over here, and as you can see, the details have been added. So yes, with this we have successfully completed this automation. And now what is going to happen is that whenever I'm just going to add a new file in this specific folder in my Google Drive account, within 10 minutes Pabbly is going to trigger the workflow. OpenAI is going to extract the content from that same PDF and add it into our spreadsheet, that too without any manual efforts. So yes, with this you can also create this amazing automation within minutes. So now go try this amazing automation for your own university, and if you have any questions related to the video or the workflow, you can directly comment on this video. For your reference, I'll just clone this workflow and share the workflow link in the description box so that you can access my workflow. I hope this video was helpful for you. Thank you for watching, everyone. So not only these applications, but with the help of Pabbly Connect, you can connect many more applications. So now if you have any doubts, you can reach us at support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can reach us at forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can follow this URL. So now go try this amazing automation for your own business, because right now we are offering a free trial of Pabbly Connect.